I'm Joe Kane.
And I'm Wayne Heckler.
And this is the Imperfect Podcast. Don't forget to go to hecklerkane.com and sign up to be an Imperfect Podcast Insider.
To the bumper. Tom Malloy is truly one of the most versatile talents out there. He's the real deal. He's an actor, a writer, producer, author, and a dancer. He's trained in the martial arts of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. He's also a computer expert, a singer, a motivational speaker, and a teacher as well.
Did you just read that? Oh, yes, you did. Okay. That's okay. No, we talked to Tom for about a half an hour, and he was a really good guy. Very down to earth, and he's got a lot of answers for things, which is great.
He has a really cool course. Just anyone who really wants to be a filmmaker should check out his course. It's really cool. It's like Bankroll film.
Yeah.
.com. He said it a few times.
Well, we'll let him fumble through it later because he fumbled it too.
So sorry, Dan.
But he talks about stories about working with Betty White and talks about
Timothy
stories.
Hunt. He got a lot. Yeah, he's the real deal. He's making it work up there. He learned how to do different things. He was an actor, then a producer, and now he's teaching how to actually finance films. He's really went through the nitty gritty of trying to finance films. So it's like a shortcut taking this course. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Jason Brubaker for hooking us up with him. That was a very nice little hookup we got, getting to meet Tom tonight. And
that was from the AFM?
No, well, we know Jason through AFM,
right.
And then Tom was there also, but we didn't actually meet him there. So,
right.
But he does talk about his experience at AFM a little bit too. So, that has been an ongoing theme throughout a bunch of our episodes now. Is that film festival that we went to? So it was. It's good that it's come.
It's cool.
Up.
You start to make a lot of connections going to that. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's hear from Tom. Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, happy to be here. Always happy to talk to guys from Long Island, right?
Yeah,
we're from Long Island.
Well, big snowstorm right now. Where are you Skyping in from?
Los Angeles, where it was 83 in my car. So it's,
nice, right.
Yeah, so no snow.
Sorry.
The snow is pretty, but it's annoying at the same time. But it's still nice to look at.
It's pretty for the first, I grew up in the East Coast. I have family in Long Island, in Massapequa, but it's pretty for like the first 5 times, and then it's like, kill me with the white stuff.
Well, I'm going to throw it right out there and go, I'm from Massapequa. I'm in Massapequa right now. The podcast takes place in Massapequa. I noticed a whole bunch of your background, that you did anger management and you did Third Watch throughout the years. And those were both shows I was on because they were local shows here on Long Island or New York.
That's great.
You have that in common. That's cool.
Just out there. I have a couple other connections out there. Yeah, she lives in, my aunt, this is my dad's sister, lives in Massapequa Park. Okay. And then I have friends in Farmingdale and friends way out in like Brentwood. But then also I got married. I'm not married anymore, but I got married in Mineola at the Jericho Terrace.
Okay,
And then there's some. Oh, and I have the main like financial office of Glass House Distribution. My distribution company is in Long Beach. So a lot of Long Island connections.
Yeah,
Long Beach, cool. New York. Yeah.
Well, you started out here, and how did you get the bug for starting to act and get into the business?
Well, I was always, I started as an actor, and I was always into that, my whole life. That's what I wanted to pursue. And when it was kind of, taking a super long story and making it short, when I did this movie called Gravesend back in 1998 or 7, we shot it on the streets of Brooklyn. I just got cast as an actor, and we would go up to street corner. There'd be a gang of thugs, and we'd be like, "You guys want to shoot a fight scene?" They'd be like, "Yeah," big fights would break out every night. And but when it was done, we got Oliver Stone to produce it and put his name on it, and I was the second biggest role. So I actually thought, "Oh wow, I'm never gonna have to work outside the movie business again."
Right.
And
that's it. You made
it. I was done. Yeah, I just started writing checks and drinking champagne. But no, and so the bottom line is, when I didn't become an overnight success, I started learning every other aspect of the business. And, and now it's, again, condensing it. As a writer, I've written, I think, 30 screenplays and options sold or made into movies, 20-something, 22, 23. I'm in the Guild. As a producer, I'm on my 15th movie. I've started a bunch of films, and then I also co-own a distribution company that's kind of a separate thing. I don't sell what I produce. None of the movies I sell are the movies I produce or the movies I'm in. They're completely all acquisitions. So I sell movies, and I couldn't be more entrenched in the movie business, and I wrote the book Bankroll, which was considered the gold standard book on film financing. And And there you go. That's my whole story. Is
All right. Well, thank you for the interview. Good night.
Yeah, hey, great meeting you guys.
No, I notice you're very versatile. Also, right, some martial arts, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu,
I
right?
have a Gracie jacket on right now. That's
Oh,
so
do
funny.
you?
Yeah,
See, nice.
I
That's
do.
pretty cool. Yeah, I did Jeet Kune Do myself, Thai boxing, so that's always cool. So I saw it, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Well, it's you're in good company here. I have a black belt in Taekwondo also.
And what I like
Kick
about
ass.
this guy, he's also a singer, you're a dancer, because we're musicians as well, but you sing, you
Wow.
dance, that's pretty cool.
Yes, somebody at one point, I thought it was really funny. This was God, I was a kid, but I was saying that I was singing, and it was like an actor, comedian, martial artist.
Yeah, I love
actor,
it.
dancer, martial artist, and he said, he sings, he dances, he kicks your ass.
Nice, right. A
That's a
true
great
Renaissance
motto.
man, right? That's really cool. Hey, tell us about the dancing, because that's pretty cool.
Oh, well, that was, it's like I got into that. Funny enough, saying that you're a martial artist, I always tell people that, like, if you could do martial arts, you could do ballroom dancing, because it's the same. I found the same type of world, same schools. You had the franchisee schools that were like a joke, and then you had the people that were really like, learning from the world champions and all that stuff. And so it's just a series of memorized moves, very similar. It's like a kata, you know what I mean, in karate, where they, they do that stuff, and that was it. So I just did it for a long time, maybe 8+ years, 10 years on and off. And then, I did this movie called Love and Dancing, which was like the West Coast Swing movie. West Coast Swing is such a small dance, and that was the only movie made about that specific dance. And so, at one point I was teaching to get ready for the movie. I took a job teaching ballroom dancing for about 1.5 years and teaching ballroom dancing. So it's like I just took to it. But again, it's just like martial arts in the fact that if you just apply yourself, it becomes muscle memory. And so, because guys think like, oh, I ain't got the rhythm. You know what I mean? It's not that at all. It's very similar to just learning patterns and forms and stuff like that.
Well, the reason I had gotten into it is I went to my parents and I said, I want to do dancing. And they said, how about martial arts? And I was 7 years old and I went to Taekwondo. And
that's very funny.
That's
I think that's the same path I would want for my son. I hate to go, but it's like, if you have that foundation though, like a kind of a strong structure, then you add that to the ballroom dancing and you don't become what other ballroom dancers called the air biters of the world.
Yeah.
Like this, that kind of thing. So
The most famous move.
More, exactly.
Hey,
but that's funny. Their parents did it. Go ahead.
That movie was with Amy Smart, right? Also, Betty White is in that. Hey, did Amy Smart, is she a natural dancer, or she had to like train for this role?
She had done ballet when she was like, for a young part of her life, the total of ballet, tap, jazz, modern. And she, but she trained for the role. I mean, we rehearsed for about 2 months, but then she had a body double.
Okay.
And then, and funny enough, even I had a body double for the last scene, some parts of the last scene. The final dance that her and I do together is me and her, then me and this other girl, Christina, who was great. And then Gary McIntyre is my body double on her. And the main reason being, I mean, he was a competitive world champion, and also lifts. I never learned lifts because I was a club dancer. You can't freaking lift somebody at a club in Brooklyn.
Right. There's no room. Sorry, man. You just took someone's head out. Right.
So lifts were not my thing. So he did all like the lifts. So if you see the final dance, anything where like he's lifting the girl, that's not me.
But that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So no superimposing your face over them. They just shot it.
We look similar, I guess. Similar body type, similar hair, everything.
So then you did a movie, The Alphabet Killer, right? That's with Timothy Hutton, Eliza Dushku, right? That was cool.
Yeah, that was great. That was fun. I mean, really got a kind of cult following. I'm really proud of that movie. I don't think it was released smartly enough, but it works like kind of a Silence of the Lambs, or more like a Zodiac, but a little less boring. Zodiac had a lot of boring moments, but it was great. Yeah, Carrie Elways was in there too. Tom Noonan. Also Melissa Leo, who won an Oscar. Martin Donovan. They were all in there, so it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, how do you now transfer from being an actor and being moderately successful? You're doing decent roles. You're getting decent things. You got to have scenes with Betty White. To
That's
me,
the
that's
highlight
just
of my career. Yeah.
that's a career right there. You're done. You could have
That's
packed
a win.
up.
That's a win. I could have said, "That's it. I'm done." Yeah.
From what I hear, she's really good at memorizing lines and everything. She's funny. You know, on Saturday Night Live, she asked, like, she's the only one, like, give me a script. I can read it. You know, it was like
Rather
funny.
than cue cards.
Right, rather than cue
Oh,
cards.
instead of reading cue cards.
Yeah,
That's
she
funny.
wanted to
That's funny.
memorize
Yeah.
it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So how do you now how do you now transition from being an actor into the other sections of the world where you're producing and so forth?
Well, producing became initially, it was a means to an end. And what I was good at was raising money. And I discovered it really by just kind of persistence and, and motivation. And then, but, what I became super good at was, you guys are worth $200 million and it's 3 a.m. and we're doing shots, and you're like, all right, here's the check. Like that, me getting that, I had a certain skill for that and still do. Like I have a really good skill for doing that. And so that initially producer wise, I had partnered with Amy Schoaf and Ison Robbins, who were veteran producers. They've done about 35, 40 movies now. They did Majorie Prime, which is coming out this year, and I think it's all the awards, a lot of awards behind it. But so I basically brought the money, but then hired them as partners and learned from them and mentored me. And now we're peers and we work together and we give each other advice, and they're calling me, I'm calling them. And so, but the key is initially it was just like kind of shut up and said, well, here's the money. And, I'm representing the investor's interest, but, show me what to do here. And so then, it took me about like maybe 6 movies before I was really confident enough to say I could produce and I know what the hell I'm doing, and I'm not, embarrassing myself. So,
Right,
But
nice.
now, and then it just becomes osmosis. Now it's like I'm on set, people walk in, they know who to ask the questions to, because it's like, it's just again, just like, to tie it all together with the martial arts and everything, it's like it's just experience. You do it long enough, and then people start to trust you and go, "Oh, this person knows what they're doing." So.
Give us a
Nice,
like
right.
a case example of how you go about getting money for a film, because people go out there and especially our listeners, a lot of our listeners are filmmakers. They don't know how to like.
Well, I think they should
approach
buy.
somebody.
I think they should buy your course to find out.
Well, there's that.
Well,
No, it's pretty good. Seriously, I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
saying,
really good.
Obviously,
I just
not
want
the
to say
little nitty gritty, but but a nice little overview as to
Well,
how you would go about getting it.
The main thing I do is I mostly, threaten their families of the bigger investors.
Of course,
put
He's
up
definitely a
big
New Yorker.
pictures,
He's a New Yorker. He has the martial
send them
arts
8 by 10s
going.
of them in precarious situations. The whole Weinstein thing was all started by me. No,
And yeah.
no. As far as closing, all right. So here's if I was to give one tip, again, like that was great that you said about my course, and yes, I delve into every aspect of film financing. Bankroll was the book, and then there was the second edition they asked me to do, and then they asked me to do a third edition. I didn't want to do a third edition; it was just too much. I was focused on other stuff. So Jason Brubaker and I are now putting it online. I'm filming. There's like 85 videos, and we're
Nice.
they're all 3 to 8 minutes a piece, and putting them online as a course that's selling, and so that's where that's coming from. But if I was to just give one piece of advice, if you were to say, how do you raise money, I would say you got to go to somebody that's outside of the movie business, somebody that's made $100 million making blinds, and they're in the blind business, and it's that person that you act as a conduit to get them in the movie business. If you just had money and, how do I get in the movie business? You can't just go to a store and buy, hey, let's buy a movie. So you have to be able to have somebody be a conduit. So if you can get to that person that's truly outside the business, has no connection, but it's wants that kind of sexy investment, that's where you're going to score big time, because everybody wants to be part of the movie business. They want to have celebrity friends, they want, like some of the people you made, Tim Hutton and Eliza Dushku and Betty White, texting them, that's cool to say on the golf course. So if you could be the person that brings that to the investor, then you're in great shape. And that's a great start.
Let me ask you this question. These days, of course, the movie industry changed so much. I mean, it used to be so much you rely on DVD sales,
100%.
stuff like that. So how kind of like to not guarantee, but kind of close your investors, to say like, hey, you'll get your money back, because what's the market like now, in other words?
It's 100% true. It changed. I mean, I know guys that made careers. I mean, literally $100 million careers by making a $2 million C-list Christian Slater movie, and selling it for $4 million, because you could just sell them DVDs. But you just have to be really smart, and you have to have a lot of production value with whatever you're shooting. I've done movies as low as $100,000, and it's like, that $100,000 movie, you would never go, oh, would you shoot this for $100,000? You would say, what is this, about $1 million? Like that. So the production value is always big. Up to the biggest indie I did was Love and Dancing, and that was about 7 million, and it looks like 15 or 20. So it's like you have to have this production value, and you have to have stars. That's a big thing I believe in. You always have to have namey people that are at least recognizable faces, and so all of that together, and then just being smart about the sales and the distribution. It's still, there's no guarantees, but if you two were investors and I was saying something to you, the one thing I can guarantee is I know how to make a good to great film, a really, really good film to a great film, and I know how to do that now. So that's what I can guarantee. The rest of it, by my track record and everything I've done, that I'm going to try to sell the crap out of it. But at the end of the day, we all like to say in the business, the movie gods are what determine it 100%.
And I think that's the distributors, right? In all honesty, right? Whoever's distributing it out there, kind of, or what do you think?
Yeah, but not really, because it's like I used to think that, but then I got in the distribution game, and it's like there was a couple that I know that I signed, signed them because I was super excited about the movie. Like every movie goes through there's 4 of us now in the company. There used to be just me, and now there's 4 of us. Okay. And every movie everybody has to watch, and there's ones that we were so excited about. I remember this one that I was just really psyched about. It was a landmine, suspense movie, and the buyers just didn't respond to it. So then we go to the buyers, and I'm pitching the hell out of it, saying, oh man, I love this, is one of my favorites, blah blah blah, and they're just, okay, send me the link, and then they watch it. No, not for us. And then it's like, shit. I thought I expected X amount, and it's like, so it's not for the lack of trying. You know what I mean? Right. Because we're not a company my distribution company is not big enough where we can take a movie and put it on the shelf and be like, well, we'll just add that to the library. Like we need to make money off of all our movies.
Yes.
And so so there's a perfect example of the movie gods. Maybe the timing, maybe it was like I told you, it was a landmine-based movie, but it was like I remember trying to sell it to China, and they were like, "Yeah, we have this problem in our country too," and we sweep it under the rug. So they didn't want to see anything about it. It was based in Vietnam. This the movie itself. So anyway, so that you never know what's going to happen, and if you have a movie like Louis C.K., to bring up a name like that, say he hadn't done what he did,
sure,
but he still had a movie that had harassment themes in it, and you're trying to sell that right now, and it was kind of poking fun in a bad way. You're screwed. You know what I mean? It could be the best, the smartest movie, and that ain't selling right now. Nobody's gonna buy the movie where Harvey is the main type of character and he's a good guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody's gonna get into those.
If only I made that last year. Damn. I told you, investors, man, give me the money quick. I gotta make this one quick.
It's so funny. That's so true. Even with Love and Dancing, it was like by the time our movie came out, people were sick of dance movies. In fact, they actually made a movie. I think it was Miramax made a movie, Not Another Dance Movie. That was the actual movie they put out. Right. And it was like, no, we wanted it out 3 years earlier. Truly,
just one more dance movie. It's okay.
Yeah. But and it's so funny because it's there's something in the ballroom dance world that's the word right there. They say the dance world. It's a term, the dance world. And I remember the first trailer that came out from I can't remember, Voltage Pictures was in the world of dance, because the dance world is in the world of dance. And I remember somebody commenting on the trailer like, oh, another trailer with In a World in the beginning. And it's like, no, moron. It's not in a world. In all those other ones, it doesn't apply. But in this one, the dance world is the dance world. That's what everybody calls it. That's in the damn world. But it's like, and somebody, in the world of dance, somebody's like, oh, great, another In the World trailer. And I'm like,
in the world.
What are you going to do? In the world. So ridiculous.
Little Don LaFontaine impression there.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, you now have an online course that's going on.
Yes.
And you describe a little bit about that for us and tell our viewers what it's about.
Well, it's Bankroll, and with the reason that they had even asked me to write a 3rd edition, like when the first Bankroll book came out, it had everything in there that I was doing to raise money for movies. And it really, applies to an actor, a writer, a producer, director, any aspect of the business that wants to just take control of their career. It's not about finance and it's not detailed. It's about how could I make my dream come true without having to wait for somebody to make it happen for me. And that's what people liked about it. And the reason, like I said, they asked me to make second edition, third edition is because the business keeps changing. So this is the most updated version, and it's videos, me talking to the camera and giving examples. And what I like to say, and this is 100% true, is I'm giving away everything, meaning this is my game. I'm not going, let's put these videos up, but I'm over here. I'm the real way I close.
Right. This I got to save for myself.
Exactly.
Right. This is the real secret. I'm not giving that one away. Right.
Exactly. If they knew this,
they don't need me anymore. Right.
Exactly. No, 100% no. And so everything that if you watch, like I said, there's 85 videos, and which I don't even, the course is not even for sale yet. There was an early adopter thing where it was, I think it was $79, but because there's only a third of the videos up at this time. And the whole course going to be $197. So the reason I bring that up is, like I said, 85 videos, and it is taking you from every aspect of what I would do from start conception idea to financing a movie. And there's nothing I've held back there. It's, the steps that I'm saying on those videos are the exact steps that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis to try to get movies going.
Yeah, I think this is actually a must, and to any indie filmmakers or wannabe indie filmmakers, I really do. I mean, you're going to save them hours and hours of learning on their own, all the pitfalls. You kind of take that mystery out of it and say, hey, here's the point,
Yeah, well, 100%. What you just said made me roll my eyes. It was the path that I have taken is so it'd be I was going to try to put it into terms for you guys. Take it, from the LIE to try to get from
he's giving some local references here. Yes.
Yeah, to try to get from East Hampton to Massapequa and driving to California first. You know what I mean? That's the path that I took. So yes, if I took this crazy path and got screwed by people and got movie ideas stolen from me and got scammed and this and that, I'm trying to give people a direct path, so that's not going to happen for them. Yeah, right. A to B, versus I went A and then did the alphabet a couple times and then went back.
Right. I think that's what the majority of people who are out there are doing. They're not taking the straight path. They're going and veering off and experimenting and going, well, let's try this, let's try this, let's try that. You got courses like your course, which are going to be out there or is out there or is going to be out there soon, that
it is.
It is out there.
I don't think it's officially out there, honestly, because all I do is I put the material out and I record the videos, and Jason Brubaker is the one that puts it out there. So I don't think I don't think you could buy it for full price. I don't believe, but maybe by the time this airs, it's the end of the year. I would say.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, let's give I want to give a shout out to Jason for hooking us up with Tom here. Tom is friends with Jason, and we're friends with Jason recently, and so thank you for that, Jason. And great. He's the not president, the what is he?
If you're talking about distributor, he's the VP.
He's
of
a VP of distributor.
Yeah, and then he has his own company called Filmmaking Stuff, where he's for years sold products. I mean, we even sell something called Movie Plan Pro, which is my business plan, the actual business plan that I use, which funny enough comes with the Bankroll course. But you could just go on and buy the business plan that I use, the same business plan to close investors. So
nice. Nice. Yeah. Really cool.
Oh, that's excellent. You want to tell everybody how they can reach out to you, what some of your websites, all of that type of stuff?
Sure. Oh, great. Well, I have a 900 number. And no, I'm kidding.
My phone number is 555.
It only costs $7.95 a minute.
Remember those?
Do
they even exist anymore?
I think they actually do. Yes.
There was a phone number going around for a long time. It was Jackie Martling from he was
on
Howard Stern, the joke dial.
Met him.
And you would just literally go and I grew up in Oyster Bay where he was from, and run into him every now and again. And he literally had a phone number that was a local exchange that you could call the phone number and just get the daily joke.
That's hilarious.
It was amazing.
It's the joke line or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember hearing that on Howard Stern or Sirius or something like that. But,
sure.
Anyway, we just went off topic. Now, so I'm sorry.
So let's talk about you again.
So TomMalloy.com is my actor site, but you could go to I believe bankrollthefilm.com. Or excuse me, Bankroll.
Is it ThinkIFIC?
.com is the book. So I think it's Bankroll
Thinkific.
The Film. Well, if you go to
Okay.
bankrollthefilm.com, it should go right to the course.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, you can see I have this as I'm doing it. Are you doing it at the same time?
I am writing it down to make sure that it gets into our show notes.
But he's not
so
looking
let's
it
see.
up. No, he's not
Bankroll
that
the
fast.
Film. I just want to make sure that I'm giving him a correct
Sure.
address. You would think like I'd prepare for that. Yes, it's bankrollthefilm.com. It's the easiest way to remember it.
Nice, sure.
And again, Twitter at Tommy Malloy or Instagram Tom Malloy. But at the end of the day, I just like hearing stories of people making movies and things like that. So I try to get back to everyone that emails me. It sometimes goes by, but people email me questions or anything like that. I try to always get back to everybody. But the other thing I want to promote is this movie called Screamers, which is a great horror film. It's a found footage scary movie. It comes out April 6th of next year. Yeah. And I'm one of the lead roles, and it was two different reviewers had called it the best found footage movie of all time.
Oh, nice,
so,
nice.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right.
What is it called again? I'm sorry.
Screamers.
It's called. Well, it's actually called hashtag Screamers. So
Okay.
it's like a hashtag.
Screamers.
Yeah, but
Nice.
it's yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm looking forward. I'd like to check that out. Yeah.
If you go to YouTube and you go to hashtag Screamers trailer 2017, you'll see the trailer and
nice.
you'll love it. So
All right,
hopefully-
cool. Yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
That'll
pretty
be
good.
my
Yeah.
17th anniversary.
All right.
Yeah, I've been married for
wow.
17 years.
Good for you. What the hell are you doing right? Yeah.
right.
Do you have kids?
I have two kids. It's
Oh
an
my
8-year-old and a
God. God
5-year-old.
bless you, man.
I've been married for 17 years and same woman.
Wow.
Does
And,
she have any sisters? No. Because well, I'm not as lucky, but hey, I have two great kids. So.
Nice. Very good.
Awesome.
Hey, you were a
Great,
great
guys.
guest. We'll say goodnight to you. Thank you so much. Hey, one thing, let me say is off the air, right? Unless you
Yeah,
want to wrap it
sure,
up first.
sure.
Wanna wrap
We
it
should
up?
probably wrap it
We
up
should
before
probably
we start
wrap it
talking
up,
on
yeah.
off the air.
I didn't say that, guys. We don't talk off the air ever. Sorry.
Well, Tom, with that being said, Tom, thank you for being a wonderful guest tonight, and we appreciate you being here.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Great to talk to you both.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good night, but not really. Stay on the line.
Yeah,
Don't tell them
we'll
listening.
We'll
all
get to
right?
the secret stuff.
Right.
I'll tell you what it actually takes to find it.
Nice. Tom Malloy, everybody. Check it out.
Good night, Tom. Michael Caine once said, he said, if I like a script, I'll open the script, and if my dialogue's on the first page of the script, and then I turn to the last page of the script, and I still have dialogue on the last page of the script, I'll fucking do the play.
That's pretty good.
Michael Caine walks into a bar, and he says to himself, ouch. I love Michael Caine because he tastes good with pepper.
That's pretty good. It could almost change to a Yoda. Could you switch that into Yoda?
Misa like, Misa Jar Jar Binks. You're so like, oh my God, I went to Misa like Jar Jar Bing. Jar Jar Bing love him, Michael Caine, yes. You said, no, how much Jar Jar Bing love Michael Caine?
That's very nice. I love you too, baby.
Michael,
Jar Jar Bing.
Whatever, Bing Bing.